So, a common thing we may feel in the realm of all things transition is, well, a sense of doubt, a worry, concern, being unsure if this is the right path for you. This is affirmation for people that feel unsure, and that's okay. It's okay to feel unsure. It just means you're thinking through it, and that's fine. There's actually no need to rush. But if me saying that makes you say, no, I want to rush, then I guess that's something to think about. What exactly do you want to rush? What do you want now? What do you want later? I know in the context of, trans community in general, we definitely idolize people that start younger with transition. However, know that that's not the only way to do it. Some people start later, some people start earlier. But, the best time to start is when you're ready. And when is that? I don't decide. But you do, You get to decide that. You get to think for yourself and go, yeah, I think this would be really nice, It's not something anyone else decides for you. As ironic as of in a video this is, but truth is, it's about being yourself. And what yourself is, well, that depends on a lot of things. Only you decide who yourself is. And if you want to live as a girl, if you want to live as a boy, if you want to live as somewhere in the middle, perhaps neither. And that's fine. You don't have to match stereotypes to be trans. You don't have to have known the mere second you were conceived that you were trans. That's fine too. It's okay if you figured it out really suddenly later. However, consider that if you thought about it for more than a month, that's longer than most cis people would ever contemplate such a thing. Do that information as you will. Truth is, there's nothing wrong with starting transition, and then if it's not for you, you can kind of just stop. I know that's a touchy topic, but nothing's as permanent as you might expect. Especially hormone blockers. Those block hormones, they don't change anything. So if you have those, you can just give it a try, and if it feels good, keep doing it. Now with hormones that change the entire body, well, if you have it for a month and then stop, you can kind of just act like it didn't happen. The only thing that is affected by short-term hormone use is fertility, which is just the ability to make babies. However, that might not be something on your mind right now, and that's okay. Thing is, transition's very vast, and there's different stages of it. There's social stuff you can do without hormones. There's opportunities and ways of living that you can do. You can do gender affirming things. Maybe there's a hobby that's particularly feminine or masculine that you always wanted to try. I recommend just trying it. Why not? Right? And if you try an activity and it's not for you, then you can just be gone and not at that activity. No need to worry about a thing. For example, for me, a really gender affirming hobby is dancing. So being able to do dancing classes is really affirming. Feels nice, And I probably could have done more dance classes as a little kid, even though I wasn't transitioned yet. I think I was just scared, and it's okay to feel that way. Nothing's easy, after all. However, as far as doubt's concerned, I guess we gotta think, what are you doubting specifically? I think that's the key. You gotta think what specifically has you worried, and you need to approach those one by one. Maybe you're scared of becoming a different person in your brain once you transition. To reassure that concern, you'll still be you. You don't just take the funny pills and then wake up as a different person. The core of you stays and remains. Life just goes on. I remember when I first got my HRT pills, I sat down right here in the chair in front of me, and I took the hormone blocker and the estrogen. I sat there for a few seconds and I realized something funny. Life just went on. Unfortunately, I had to wait for it to dramatically change me. But soon I just realized that nothing really dramatically changes. Things gradually change. And those changes, for me at least, felt really good. And I think that's key. You gotta do what feels good for you. And if you think that'd feel good, know that life goes on once you've done it. Life continues. You don't just become a different human being. You just become you, except the world sees a gender maybe you feel better as. That's fine. Maybe you're worried about all your interests. Well, I made a couple of videos about that, but point is that your interests can stay the same. That's fine. Enjoy some sport, you can keep doing it. Enjoy, I don't know, maybe dancing. You can keep doing that. Whatever you like doing, you can keep doing it. You like playing card games, you can keep doing that. You like playing video games, you can keep doing that. Like dancing, you can keep doing that. Like surfing or something, you can keep doing that. Whatever you like, you can just keep doing as a girl or a boy or somewhere in the middle. Doesn't matter. What's important is you're being yourself. And chances are, if you feel more comfortable as yourself, whatever you're interested in will probably be more fun. If you feel more comfortable, you're just going to feel better, I think. You'll just feel better. And that's good. Even just hobbies that aren't specifically gendered can feel just a little bit better as yourself. I, for example, play guitar. I like playing guitar. And I don't think it's a particularly gendered hobby, but I enjoyed playing more because I was feeling like, myself. I was feeling like myself. And that made it more fun. Dramatically more fun, even. Most enjoyable. All my hobbies feel better because I'm being myself. And at least for me, transition opened a mental barrier. Like a mental barrier to be myself. And that's pretty cool, I think. It made me feel like I could just be me and do whatever I wanted. The only thing I admit that I did miss out on. The only thing I admit that I did miss out on is I briefly had an opportunity at university to try doing cheerleading as a girl. Now, unfortunately, circumstances didn't allow that to happen. Now, unfortunately, even though I really wanted to do cheerleading at university, I didn't get the opportunity to do it. I was a bit overworked at the time, so I didn't give myself the proper opportunity to do it. So I admit, That regret stings a little bit. Could have been a quirky cheerleader. But what are you gonna do? I can dance and do dance classes at least, and to me that kind of makes up for it. I know there's a feeling, a sense of loss that comes with transition. There's things we don't really get to do that we wanted to do, which can feel hurtful. Maybe there's different experiences that meant a lot to you, mean a lot to you, that you wish you had. Maybe there's something that really bothers you. The memories of not getting to be yourself. It can sting. It'll always sting, but that's okay. You can make less things sting. It's about being yourself. It's about making yourself able to enjoy and experience things you always wanted to. Even if it won't exactly be how you envision it. That's fine. You still get to be you. You know? There'll always be things we think back on and go, oh, if only I could have done that as a girl or a boy or somewhere in the middle. And those experiences can hurt. A lot, to be honest with you. I won't act like that's not an obstacle. However, why allow what hasn't happened to dictate what will be in the future? We shouldn't let the things we didn't get to experience to disallow us from experiencing something later. If we don't do what's right for us, then there'll be more moments like that later. There'll be more things we feel like we missed out on. So to be real with you, the best time to start is as early as you feel comfortable starting. We're not going to include days that have already passed. We can't change that. I can't change that. There's a lot of things I'd want to change, but I can't. Transition is stuff that you can just send an email to a hormone doctor. You can just send an email for a referral. You can just Google search doctors in your area. You can just Google where to get feminine clothes. Everyone has different difficulties in acquiring such clothes. Or boys' clothes for the trans men watching. Or perhaps clothes that fit all the bills of being unisex. Point is, you gotta find the things you need. And the only way you can find those is by searching. I can't really explicitly tell you how to do it. That video can't do that. I remember watching countless trans videos, seeking the answers, seeking the moment where I'll know exactly how to transition. Truth is, you learn by doing. Yeah, it'll be messy at first. Yeah, maybe the first time you dress affirmingly it might not look right. But hey, that's learning, right? Is there anything we ever nailed first try? I doubt it. But, we get better. We get better at what we do. We truly master our craft of being as affirming to ourselves as possible. And that's pretty cool, I think. What's important is we take it one step at a time. We don't have to think about things that are much later. I ask you, what can you do right now if you want to? And there's a lot of things you can do without really committing to it. Still unsure 17 minutes into a gender affirmation video? That's okay. But I do encourage you, if you got this far, to give dressing affirmingly a try. Just give it a try. Try wearing something that feels nice. If you've ever thought to yourself, hey, I'd like to try some girls' clothes, or some boys' clothes, or some non-binary clothes. Unisex clothes, is that the best term? Yeah, let's go with that. If there's clothes that feel good to you, that you've always wanted to try, find a way to acquire them. Whether it's your online shopping, setting up a PO box to intercept the mail so that no one in your house sees, perhaps braving the realm that is the real-life clothes store, maybe of someone trusted. Just give it a go. If you made it this far in a video like this, then you owe it to yourself to at least give it a try. And if it feels bad, you can just stop. If it feels good, you can keep going. I can't dictate what you choose. That'd be absurd. However, chances are there's a certain gendered clothing you've been forced to wear your entire life. Maybe it's comfortable just because it is just what you know. If you try something else and it feels better, cool, you know? If it doesn't, cool, life goes on. Either way, the main point of this is you can kind of just live your life. And if you think you'd feel better living as a different gender, then so be it. Give it a go. In ways that you feel comfortable doing. If in your heart you want to jump straight into everything, you can do that too. If you want to take it slow, try some gender affirming clothes. Go for it. I'm not going to stop you. And sure, maybe there are forces that might try. But I think trans people can be pretty smart. A lot of us just find a way. And if me referring to you as a trans person felt good, cool. If not, that's okay too. Labels are a bit finicky. I mean, how does one determine a label? It's just a shortcut to explain an experience. How I experience being a trans woman may differ from other trans women. That's fine. Labels are shortcuts. They're not definitive factors. You don't have to hit every criteria of gender dysphoria to be trans. Instead, think about things that give you gender euphoria. You know, the good feelings. Dysphoria is when you feel uncomfortable, whereas euphoria is when you feel good. Focus on what makes you feel good, not what makes you miserable. I think that's a better approach. If you feel happier as a different gender, you can be that gender. The goal of it all is to be as happy as possible. Why do something that makes you feel worse? But in saying that, sometimes there's a bit of pain that results in a greater happiness. Maybe the start of transition is rough, but if you think the end goal is worth it, go for it. At the end of the day, just do what feels good to you. That's really it. That's all this is. And if you're still Googling, am I a girl? Am I a boy? Am I non-binary? Into Google every night, that's fine. I know there's a bit of a culture of just calling people eggs, which just refers to a trans person in denial. But it doesn't have to be that. You could just be exploring. That's fine. Don't let anyone pressure you to come out when you're not ready. At the end of the day, egg or not, an egg cannot crack if someone else cracks the egg. The egg can only be cracked from the egg itself. What I mean by that is, I can't help you decide. I can't make you decide. That'd be ridiculous. That wouldn't make me much different than the society that assigned the gender you've had to live as. Instead, for once in our lives, the ball's in your court. Imagine a circumstance where transphobia is evaporated. There's no transphobia. You can do what you want. Imagine there's literally a button on your desk, your bed, anywhere. If you're sitting up, imagine there's a button that will change your gender instantly. If you're in your bed, imagine if squeezing your pillow a little bit instantly changes your gender when you wake up. Would you do it? Imagine there's no consequence to doing it. That is something that helped me a lot personally. I hope there's an equivalent for trans men, but I know there's a website called turnmeintoagirl.com. It's a pretty cute website for trans girls. I hope there's an equivalent for trans men. That'd be really cool. But I quite like that website. If you look that up, you should be able to find it. That might help you find your answer. But if you do a simple action that changes everything, I guess there's a lot to think about. And that's okay. Right now, you can just rest. There's no rush. I certainly didn't rush. I dragged it out a bit too long. That's fine. What are you going to do? If you found this video helpful and you want more like this, let me know in the comments. We haven't really done as many affirmation type videos in a while. You might be wondering why. Well, I think I let the algorithm dictate what I did too much. I'm really passionate about affirmation, so I want to make more of these kind of stuff. And if you're heading to bed while listening to this, I hope you have a great sleep. A wonderful sleep. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe when you wake up. And if you want more trans affirmation and other trans content in general, I recommend you to check out the Fairy Princess Lucy YouTube channel, which is this one you're currently on. On that note, I shall depart. I hope this was helpful. Quite a bit of affirmation. A lot to think about. But hey, you'll be okay. It'll work out in the end. And it's not easy, but I think you'll make the choice that will make you the most happy. And that's all I could ever hope for. Society tried to choose for you. It's your turn to pick what you want. Maybe it's not different at all. Maybe it's a bit different. So be it. As long as you're happy. Have a great sleep if you're sleeping. Have a great day if you're not. And I shall see you next time. Stay hydrated and know that you are valid.